All right, I'm technically only 1 minute late. Okay. And I made the mistake of trying to trim my own hair yesterday, and it shows. Say hi, Hal. Meowing, meowing, meowing. Like it. My little ham shaking. Wiggy! Look at how cute my boys are. Why you crying? Swiggy! Swiggy! My little ham shaking. Wiggy! No! Wiggy. Oh, this one's Melvin. Say hi, Hal. Fine. Fine, if you're going to growl, go away. Try to come back? I thought you were mad. Do you want me to pick you up or don't you? Wiggy! Wiggy! And this one's Eggy. Yeah, hold on, let me mute this for a second. Just a sec, guys. Hello, everybody. What did I tell you? I told you that I would be live today, and I am at 2:00, as I said I would be. Oh, thank you. I know. Isn't this shirt great? I actually cleaned it because yesterday I accidentally stained it. So threw it in the wash yesterday. Yeah, his name is Eggy because he has an egg head. Come here. Why, Eggy? My little ham shaking. He is my little ham. My little ham shaking. See, he has an egg head. So I call him Eggy. Eggy. Why, Eggy? Look at it. Why, Eggy? My dogs are like the actual cutest dogs ever. All right. Come on, fat. And then Melvin, who is growling at me but wants to sit on my lap. Like he's growling but still wants to sit on my lap. Galen. Galen. Why you growl, Hal? But like, see? Why? Wiggy! Wiggy! Only dog stream. Yeah, so anyway, how's everyone doing? Why you agree? Hey, Linda. Yes, thank you, Linda. Please like the live on the way in, you guys. Linda is always so amazing and reminds me of that because I always forget. I always forget that you're supposed to say like the live, share the live. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I always forget to say all that. So thank you so much, Linda. One of our amazing OG members here over here on the you guys came up with some really funny names when we did the stream on New Year's Eve. Like what to call this community. That was pretty funny. Oh, hey, hippie ninja. Hey, everybody. How's everyone doing? No, okay, so I just made a TikTok video about this. We know TikTok is about to get banned. That there's a serious hoax happening, okay, on social media where a bunch of Zionists are making videos trying to pretend to be like Palestinian or Palestinian activists and making comments about the wildfires that are really insensitive. so that they can make Palestinians look bad. Yeah, I do think it is going to be banned. I do. Yeah. Which is so funny because our Congress, our good for nothing, pathetic Congress, literally doesn't do anything. And then they're like, we're like, can we have healthcare? They're like, nah. Can we have gun safety reform? Nah. Can we have a living wage? Nah. Can we have paid family leave? Nah. No one. Literally no one. They're like, let's ban TikTok. Let's ban TikTok, even though TikTok actually creates jobs for people. Like, you know how like the politicians love to be like, the jobs. We're job creators. The jobs. TikTok legitimately has created tons of jobs for people. Like so many jobs for people. Okay. TikTok has created so many jobs and a lot of people supplement their income on TikTok and they just want to get rid of that. My gosh, my hair is growing out so crazy. I need to get a haircut, but I won't because it's going to be a minute before I can get a haircut again. But anyway, the point is, they'll be like, we care about job creation. We care about people having jobs in this country, but not really. Okay. Because TikTok creates tons of jobs for people and has created tons of jobs for people, supplements millions of people's income, and millions of small businesses are on TikTok. I actually got this from a small business on TikTok shop, and they're just going to shut all that down. What happened to caring about jobs? What happened to caring about jobs, folks? U.S. government. What happened? U.S. government. What happened to caring about jobs, folks? What happened to caring about? They don't. It's all a lie. It's all a lie in service of the Zionist regime, okay? It's all a lie in service of the Zionist regime. That's all they care about. They do not care about jobs, okay? They do not care about the income that Americans are going to lose. They do not care that they're taking American speech rights away. They do not care that Americans' free speech are getting trampled on. They don't care about any of that shit. They care about pleasing the Israeli lobby and their donors, okay? They care about their donors, okay? They care about their donors and pleasing the Israeli regime. That's it. Hold on, I'm going to open the window. Yeah, but Lemonade, people who act like, you know what? I'm not even kidding. People should not only file for unemployment theater, they should also sue. I hope people sue. I hope people sue. There should be like a huge class action lawsuit. I have even heard leftists attacking people who lost their homes in the fire. No, but I don't even believe that. Okay, I got distracted, but that's what I was talking about was this hoax. There's like this hoax going around where people are pretending that Palestinians and Palestinian activists are celebrating the wildfires. But like, as this person on TikTok shows, a mutual of mine on TikTok, it's such a hoax because all the people that are doing it are suspiciously never have talked about Gaza before. Like, weirdly and suspiciously never talked about Gaza until suddenly now. Hold on. Bro, I need like a hydration balm, okay? My skin is so dry. It's like crazy. Okay, but anyway, first of all, James Wood's house didn't even end up burning, which is kind of sad. But Mel Gibson's did. Okay. Those are the people I don't care about, okay? Why you agree? Those are the people that I don't care about. But I do care about regular people whose houses got burned. Why agree? Look at my little ham shaking. No. Oh my God. Yes, I communicate with my dog and he sings to me. Watch. He'll communicate with me. Watch. Why agree? Why you agree, my little ham? You want to sing, shaking? Why agree? See how he sings? See how he sings, shaking? You like to sing, shaking? Oh my God. Isn't it cute? You know what really actually hurt my heart? Like genuinely fucking broke my heart. It actually, like, I get really, really triggered when it comes to animals. Like it just, especially dogs. What really broke my heart was seeing that they said over 300 dogs were just left. And an animal shelter said that their dogs were going in with burns, that dogs were coming into the shelter with burns. And the shelter actually put out a statement being like, please take your pets. Don't leave your pets. Now, I want to try to give people the benefit of the doubt, because I would hope that if somebody did leave their pet, it was truly because they couldn't get a hold of them. Like it was like some last minute shit and they could not get a hold of them and the fire was blocking them off or something. Because honestly, I cannot accept an excuse to like willingly leave your dog or even your cat, even though I don't really like cats, but even your cat, to leave your pet. Like, I don't want to be too judgmental because I don't know what it's like to be in that situation, right? Like, I don't know what it's like to be in a situation where you're losing everything and you're running for your life. So I don't want to be like a jerk and be I hate the people that are like, I would have done this, you know? Like people who are like, I would have done this. I would have done this. But like, so like, I don't know. It's hard because it's like, I don't want to be that guy. But at the same time, I'm like, I cannot imagine leaving my boys. I can't imagine it. Like, I can't imagine if my house was on fire, just leaving my boys. I feel like I would, honestly, I can't imagine it. I can't. I would be like they would be the first priority. They're like my children. They would be my first priority. I would not leave without them. So it just like really upsets me and hurts me and makes me angry and just so upset when I see the stories of like people just abandoning their pets and these shelters saying that they're getting all these dogs. Oh, hey, Welsh, you should have been able to get back. This is like totally unrelated, but you should have been able to get back in the Discord. I haven't been on, but the mod said that they fixed it. Well, theater, that's what I'm kind of hoping. Honestly, I'm hoping that I would like to believe that the people that did leave their dogs were people that literally had no other choice. That were the people, because I did see that there were people that were literally running from their cars. Like they had absolutely no warning. They just ran from their cars. I'd like to believe that those were the people that left their pets and that people are not purposefully leaving their pets, because I've seen videos before from other natural disasters where people just left their pets. And I'm like, I just don't understand. I just don't understand like how you could leave your pet. Hey, Benny. Oh, I wanted to show you guys the video. Okay, so you know how I was saying that I think it's a hoax? Oh, and side note, I know I'm getting distracted. I'm trying to figure out if this works or not. Still to be continued. Yeah, it's like I said, just like last thing about that is that it's like I really try to empathize with people's positions. And I really can't stand when people are judgmental about shit they haven't experienced. So like I'm really trying not to be judgmental and understand like people's different experiences and probably like how hard this was for a lot of people and a lot of people just leaving. I just have a hard time with it. Everybody has their things that they get really sensitive about. And to me, it's animals, especially dogs. And I just, yeah, I can't imagine leaving my dog, but I hope I'm never in that position. Cause again, like you don't, like I said, I can't stand when people are really judgmental and be like, I would do this, like regarding like a atrocity or, yeah, this is late stage capitalism. This is empire collapse. That's why the capitalists are doing so much like propaganda right now to be like, no, capitalism's great, guys, because it's literally collapsing in front of our eyes. And then people go, well, why are so much of Gen Z anti-capitalist? I don't know, because they have eyes and they see what's happening. Like they'll be like, no, it's Chinese Communist Party propaganda. It's like, no, it's people's experience. People have eyes and experience what it's like living in this system. And no Gen Z or Zoomer, whatever, had the experience of the good old days where capitalism was like working for some people. Like they don't have that experience. They've got nothing but horrible event after horrible event after horrible event after more societal collapse, after bank collapse, after housing collapse. Like, and when something starts to collapse, it accelerates. Like, think about like the Titanic, right? Like the Titanic sinking started out slow, but as it sinks, it gets more faster and faster, the sinking. That's like what I feel like is happening in America with capitalism and in the world. It starts out slow, the collapse of the American empire. It starts out slow, and then it starts to accelerate and accelerate and accelerate. And now we're just seeing it everywhere. And you see people being like, oh, you see people trying to defend it and be like, oh, yeah, it's a snowball effect. And then people will be like, oh, you see people trying to cope and see through it, like people trying to defend it and be like, no, it's not climate change. It's not climate change. Don't look. It's not climate change. It is climate change, but it's not just climate change. It's capitalism. Like this is the inevitable effect of capitalism and the privatization of all these sectors. It is the collapsing of our empire, and it's happening in real time. And you'll see people like desperately, the people that I feel like that are going all over social media to be like, it's not capitalism, you guys. No, it's not climate change. It's not climate change. Like you see a lot of right wingers doing that. Like it's not climate change. It reminds me of like the people on the Titanic that were like, no, the ship can't sink. No, but this ship can't sink. She's made of iron, sir. She can sink. Okay. That's what that is. Okay. It's like the delusion and the denial of like the desperate people going, no, it can't be. It's not climate change. It's not climate change. It's not capitalism. It's like, no, it is. And whether you deny that it's climate change and climate change is the result of capitalism, and whether or not you want to deny that this is because of capitalism and the acceleration of the collapse of our empire, you can deny it all you want. It's not going to stop everything that's collapsing. Like it's literally just collapsing in front of our eyes, and nothing you say is going to change the fact that it's collapsing in front of our eyes. People being like, oh yeah, climate change is a hoax. That's why every other week we're having a once in a lifetime event, once in a lifetime flood, once in a lifetime fire, once in a lifetime unprecedented earthquake. But they're happening like every week. They're happening every week. Like this is the acceleration of empire collapse. This is the acceleration of capitalism and empire collapse. And it's happening in front of our eyes. And you see a lot of people trying to deny it. And you can try to deny it, but the reality is the reality, and the reality will continue to stare us in the face. And you're going to see a lot of capitalist bootlickers grabbing on, and you're going to see a lot of people trying to rearrange the deck chairs on the Titanic. And you can try to do that all you want, but reality is going to eventually hit you in the face. And this country is collapsing, our empire is collapsing, and the world is collapsing as a result of climate change and of the capitalists that run this world. Because people love to be like, yeah, well, communism. It's like capitalism hasn't really been around that long when you think about the context of like the world in history, human history. Capitalism hasn't really been around that long, and it's already falling apart. Like, it may seem like capitalism has already been around to us because it's all we've ever known, but it's really not that old of a system, and it's already crumbling. It's already collapsing in front of us. And that's also why they wanted to ban TikTok. They don't like Americans pointing that out. And a lot of Americans are pointing that out. They're saying like, yeah, this is empire collapse. America is collapsing. The American empire is collapsing. And they don't like that. They don't like that. That's another reason why they want to ban it. Okay, so let's get back to the hoax that I was telling you guys about people pretending to be pro-Palestine that are absolutely not pro-Palestine and that are spreading misinformation and doing these weird videos that are all very oddly coordinated and have similar text on screen and captions where they're trying to pretend to be either Palestinians or they're trying to be Palestinian adjacent or activists in order to make fun of the people in the wildfires or say shitty, insensitive things about the wildfires and trying to make it seem like it's coming from Palestinians or Palestinian activists to make them look bad or to make them seem like they're trying to make Palestinians and Palestinian activists look bad and look like that they don't care about what's happening with the LA fires. Honestly, a lot of people who are defending the like capitalist structure, what sucks is that like none of you are going to be spared from it, from the effects of this impending collapse. Like, no, unless you are in the 1% or maybe in the top 5%, you will not be spared from this. That's why my heart breaks for the people in California, with the exceptions of people like Jamie Lee Curtis and James Woods and Mel Gibson, who are all terrible people and lunatic Zionists. For the most part, the people who lost their homes are just regular people. And they spent their whole lives, creating those homes for themselves, and they're gone. And those people are not going to be spared from the ravage effects of climate change or late stage capitalism in our collapsing, crumbling empire. So, all right, I want to show you guys this video. But first, if you are not already subbed to the channel, please sub to the channel. Please sub to the channel. Where am I going? Where am I going? Okay. Yeah, please sub to the YouTube if you are not already subbed to the YouTube. You can just hit subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll know when we go live. And you can support this channel by becoming a member here on YouTube. You just hit join, become a member. You can support this channel by gifting memberships to other people. And you can support this channel if you don't want to become a member here on YouTube by becoming a patron on my Patreon or a member of Ko-Fi, which is just like Patreon. It's just another way to support the channel. And you can also support the channel by gifting super chats during this live. You can give super chats. Yeah, so thank you in advance to everybody who does, and you guys are the best. And yeah, I want to show you this video, so let's get into that. Don't forget to like the stream and sub if you're not already. Okay, I want to show you guys this video that my mutual made on TikTok going over this hoax I'm telling you about, okay? Oh, I forgot. For some reason, TikTok doesn't work on Chrome. It's very odd. Excuse me.
planet.
Can you guys hear that? Oh, thank you, Marzipan. Love the skit with you and Jacob Berger making fun of, the defend, deny, depose. Yeah, TikTok took that down like as fast as we put it up. uh, you guys hear this?
I have receipts.
Okay, this is what I'm telling you about. Listen up, because this is a serious hoax. Okay. Wait, you guys can't hear it? Oh, damn it! All right, how about now? Now that I shared the screen.
And about that stupid fucking trend that's mocking the LA fires in the name of Gaza being a psyop. Y'all thought I was kidding?
Now?
I have receipts. I have receipts. Let's get
Okay.
it. 1, going viral. Let's look at her page. Let's see. Does she?
Okay, look at her. She's providing a ton of receipts on how this whole thing is an odd hoax.
Y'all thought I was playing about that stupid fucking trend that's mocking the LA fires in the name of Gaza being a psyop. Y'all thought I was kidding? I have receipts. I have receipts. Let's get it. 1, going viral. Let's look at her page. Let's see. Does she talk about
Thank
Gaza?
you so much.
The answer
Thank you for the
is
super
fuck
sticker.
no. All she does is sell shit. 2, going viral. Let's look at her page. Does she talk about Gaza? The answer is no. Yeah. 3, going viral. Let's look at her page. Does she talk about Gaza? The answer, once again, is, you guessed it, no. 4, going viral. Let's look at her page. Does she talk about Gaza? I'm going to give you guys 2 seconds to guess what the answer is. Fuck no. You're right. No. Oh, we got the guys in on it now. 5? Are we at 5? Does he talk about Gaza? Of course he doesn't. What did you guys expect? You thought this one was going to be different? No, silly. 6. Does she talk about Gaza? 8. Does he talk about Gaza? 9. Does she talk about Gaza? I'm pretty sure it was 10. My goal was to have 10 to show you. Yeah, I think I made my fucking point.
Oh, sorry, you guys. But isn't that crazy? How crazy is that? All these people suddenly, okay, having something to say about what's happening in LA, and they've never talked about Gaza before. Sus. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat, Otto. I believe that all the current manifestations of Western society and civilization are beyond redemption, salvation. I mean, yeah. Also, what civilization? Like, thank you so much again for the super chat. I appreciate you. But what civilization, right? Like, it's not civilized to allow people to go bankrupt because they can't afford healthcare. That's not civilized. Like what? How is this civilized? Oh yeah, because did you guys see the story? Somebody just mentioned this about the Israeli regime not wanting to allow, which actually this isn't really that new. Like we've known this for a while. They've kind of made overtures to this effect for a while that people that the Israeli regime did not want them to investigate the quote unquote mass essay hoax because they knew that they're not going to find anything, and there's literally still no one to this day that has actually been like a real person to come forward. And then also they didn't want them to have to investigate the mass essay of like Palestinians. Amazing. Amazing. Does anybody in the world still like America at this point? I don't think so. I don't think so. And Americans should actually be a little bit worried because um, eventually, when we do lose our power, there's going to be people who are like, now that you guys don't have the power anymore, some people are going to want revenge, you know? And who can really blame them? Who can really blame them after what this country has done? But you know, the shitty thing is that whenever the karma comes back on people or whatever, somebody does something to this country, they never go after like powerful people. They target civilians, which is like so sad and pathetic. I think that that's why so many people resonated with the whole Luigi thing, because with the Luigi thing, he didn't target civilians or people around. There was like reporting that said that like he was thinking about using other means, but then didn't because he didn't want to hurt civilians. But then you have people like what happened in Georgia. Was it Georgia that terrorist attack just happened like a week ago? And there's no sympathy for that guy because that guy targeted civilians. But when people want to know why people don't feel sympathetic to you know, people like that, it's because, yeah, exactly, because you targeted civilians. And unfortunately, more people would probably like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that like when you target civilians, you always just end up making your cause like whatever it is that you're trying to say. I don't even know what that guy was trying to say, what happened in Georgia, but you're always going to make it less appealing to people. But if you don't target civilians, then more people are sympathetic to you. And I think one of the horrible you know, things that might happen in America that's a them think that we are the, ooh, what if we found people to say we're the anti-establishment folks? Yeah. That's good. That's good. I can like imagine him sitting and writing down. Get Tucker Carlson, get Andrew Tate and the other CIA people, grab the billionaires, grab Elon Musk, grab Vivek Ramaswamy, all the other billionaire plutocrats, grab Alex Jones. He's been working with us for a really long time. And what we're going to do is we're going to convince regular people, especially conservatives and Republicans, that we actually are fighting the establishment. They are the establishment. We are the establishment. We are the CIA. But what if we got them to believe that we were the ones actually fighting it? That's good. That's good. Write that down. Write that down. Like I can see like it's an amazing op that has been incredibly successful. Yeah, I also like when people will be like, why would the CIA do that? Why wouldn't they? They have a history of doing insane shit. Like, why do people act like the CIA would stop doing fuck shit like that when like they have a history of doing that? Do you think that the CIA has this long history of like covert operations and they just stopped in 2000? Like, why would they stop? Why wouldn't they do something like this? It's the year of our Lord 2024, and they're still trying to do regime change in multiple countries. Remember Juan Guaido? Like, I don't care. I know this country has the memory of a goldfish, and we love to forget that we have a history in this country of overthrowing Latin American leaders. And we just say communist and everybody shuts their brain off. Like, we just go communist, socialist, and everybody turns their brain off. But I don't care how you feel about Maduro. Like, you don't have to like Maduro. The fact of the matter is, it is not the right of the American government to overthrow a leader that somebody else elected. And yet that's what we did. And then we tried to make Juan Guaido happen. Remember that? And it was a bipartisan thing too. So before anybody tries to come in here and be like, yeah, that's why we need Trump. He's anti-establishment. No, he ain't. He tried to make Juan Guaido happen too. In fact, the coup where they tried to overthrow Maduro and insert Juan Guaido happened under the Trump administration. And it's really funny how a lot of people are already not holding Trump accountable to his promises. Trump campaigned on, we're going to lower grocery prices, you know, blah, 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 blah. We're going to turn this country around. And now all he's talking about is like annexing Greenland and renaming the canal. And everyone is just getting distracted by that. It's like, wait a second. Wait a second. Why are we talking about this? Did Trump run on Greenland? Did Trump run on the Panama Canal? Why are we talking about this? This seems like a distraction. It's going to be interesting to see how the people that support Trump don't hold him accountable when he doesn't keep his promises. Like they won't hold him accountable. It reminds me of that meme where basically MAGA will pay attention to anything that they tell them to. Like, you know, that meme where it's the MAGA hat and the chip is taken out of their head, like what to care about. It's like, take the chip out of their head and tell them what to care about and replace it with something else. And that's what they'll care about. It's like, it really is true. You never see MAGA like actually holding Republicans actually accountable, or holding Trump more specifically accountable to his promises or things that he said. You never see that. You never see them being like, wait a second. And it's funny how easily they are distracted, because Elon Musk started all this shit with MAGA, and basically him and Vivek Ramaswamy went on this tirade about H-1B visas and called white people losers who were lazy and kept calling them the R slur. Literally, like Elon Musk was like, you're a loser, you're an R slur, MAGA people are parasites and they're all losers, you guys are losers, H-1B visas are awesome, you guys are just losers. And then MAGA got mad, but then Elon Musk successfully distracted them again by going, oh shit, MAGA's mad at me. Muslims in England, Muslims in the UK, look over there, Muslims. And then MAGA went, oh yes. And now they've forgotten about everything that he said about them and how he trashed them. It's kind of amazing. It's kind of amazing. Yeah, classic bait and switch tactics, 100%. Yeah, it's really embarrassing how easily they fall for shit. Like they really will. They'll so fall for shit so easily. Like Ted Cruz was like on his podcast, which is so embarrassing that he's supposedly a full-time senator and he has a fucking podcast, but like part-time senator, full-time podcaster. But he's like, the reason why the fires are happening in LA is because of DEI. No mention of the fact that California gave $650 million to the Israeli regime, and no mention of the fact that they defunded their fire department. No mention of that. No mention of that. No mention of the fire department being defunded. No mention of the Israeli regime, because he's such a simp to the Israeli regime, a pathetic simp cuck to the Israeli regime. But so nothing about that, okay? But a lot of, oh, it's DEI. Like, it's just so pathetic. It really is. And it's like embarrassing how like people just like fall for it so easy. Oh yeah, I made a video about that the other day, that it makes me so enraged when I see people or corporations trying to fundraise the disaster relief and basically offload the cost of these things onto the public. Again. Like, this happens every time. It happened when the Maui wildfires happened, or was it a hurricane? Forgetting now because they're happening so often. But like, this happens every time where like people pay taxes. Their taxes are supposed to pay for stuff like this. And then disasters happen. And this is late stage capitalism. So the insurance companies are like, oh, we're not going to pay out your claims. We're not going to pay out your claims. Okay. And then, so the insurance companies screw them over again, twice, because they're paying on the front end, and then the insurance companies won't cover it on the back end for the homeowner's insurance. And then they're like, oh, well, I know what we'll do. We'll do a fundraiser and ask regular people who are already broke, who already pay really high taxes, to give money to this fund for the wildfires, when your taxes should have already been paying for that. Like this, that's why it's such a scam. I get so mad when I see any of those things trying to raise money and basically tell regular people that they should be subsidizing the job that the taxes that they already pay should be paying for. Yeah, the Maui wildfires. Yeah, I think what's depressing about how stupid their arguments are is that they work on so many people. Like, people are not mad enough at the things that they should be mad about, and yet they'll get mad and distracted by stupid shit and deflections. Like, oh, it was DEI. Instead of actually getting mad at things that are real, that they should actually be mad about. Like, that's what's so kind of annoying about it, is people just are so easily distracted by bullshit, by lies, and they're never mad at the things that they should be angry about. Hezbollah gave people in southern Lebanon, oh, right, because they're part of the government there, who lost their homes in the war, $14K to rebuild their homes. Meanwhile, the richest country in the world is like, how about $700? How about $700 and no healthcare? For real, though. For fucking real. For serious, though. Yeah, and what they're going to do is, again, they're going to ask regular people to subsidize it, as they already are. Donate here. It's like, people in California already pay insane taxes. That's what your taxes are supposed to be for. Like, this is what I want to know. Why are more people not asking where their taxes are going? because your taxes continue to go up, but you're not getting anything for it. How come everyone's not like, wait a second, why am I paying taxes? What am I paying them for? Who are they going to? Taxes are supposed to go to your community, to your country, to help it. Like, that's like kind of the point of taxes. Like, it's like we set up our society so that taxes pay for certain things. Like, taxes are supposed to pay for firefighters so that when we need firefighters, they're there. They're supposed to, like, it's so crazy. And yet, Americans and people in Hawaii, people in California pay an incredibly high tax rate, pay tons and tons in taxes. And then something like this happens and they're like, how about you start a GoFundMe? And then something like this happens and they're like, how about you start a GoFundMe? How about you do some fundraising on Good Morning America? Hit the QR code. Where are people should be asking where the fuck their taxes are going? Specifically, where are they going? We know where they're going. They're going to the military-industrial complex. They're going to the Israeli regime. They're going toward other foreign governments around the world. They're going to the military-industrial complex. They're going to the 1% and to corporations. And it is about to get a lot worse. We think it's bad now. We think it's bad now. It's about to get a lot worse. No, Brian, what I mean is, yeah, maybe people ask the question, but they don't really ask it. No one is actually like demanding that we find out where they're actually going. How come no one's demanding an itemized list, okay? And it's about to get worse. It's about to get worse because I guarantee you the only thing that Trump will do, a promise he absolutely will keep, is passing another massive tax cut for the rich and corporations. He's already said he's going to do it, and he will do it. There have already been so many massive wealth transfers to the top. There have already been so many. And people don't even comprehend it because it's so much money. People don't even comprehend it. There have already been so many massive transfers of wealth from regular people to the top 1% and corporations. And people can't even fathom it. They don't even notice that they're being looted. They don't even notice. Or if they do notice that they're being looted, they don't even understand the magnitude of the looting. Okay? Like, regular people do not understand the magnitude of how much they're being robbed. Regular people don't even understand the magnitude of how much you're being fucked over, how much you're being robbed, how much your wealth is being transferred to the top 1% to the corporations, how much your money is being taken and siphoned from you and given to foreign governments like the Israeli regime and corporations in the 1%. It's been happening for a while, and they're about to do it again. They are going to push and push and push until you have nothing. They're going to push and push until you have literally nothing. It reminds me of that George Carlin clip where he's like, they're coming for your fucking Social Security and they'll get it. They will get it. Like, his whole like speech there is like, they're going to get it. They're going to succeed in taking every last ounce that you have. Anything that you have. They are coming for it and they will get it. They're never just going to stop at one thing. That's not the point. They're never going to stop at one thing. They're never going to stop at taking some of it. They're never going to just stop at taking some. They're going to take all of it. All of it. Well, at a certain point, it's not about needing or even wanting the money. It's about making sure that the poor stay in line. That's what it's about. It's also about wanting people to suffer because people do not put up with crap when they have choices. You know what I mean? Like, if people have more choices and they're not financially desperate, they're unwilling to put up with shit because they can go somewhere else. The reason why the ruling class wants you to have nothing is because you are more easily controlled if you're desperate. That's why they create all this scarcity. Like, there doesn't need to be any scarcity in the United States. We shouldn't have homeless people in the United States. We shouldn't have hungry children in the United States. This is a very rich country. The reason why we have that, they create that scarcity because they want desperate people, because they want obedient workers, just like George Carlin said. Man, that George Carlin rant is like one of the most accurate things I've ever seen. And with time, it just ages better and better. I wish I could play it here, but like they made me take it down last time because they had a copyright on it. But that George Carlin rant, the American Dream rant, was probably one of the most accurate things that I've ever seen in media. And it ages so well. Like every single day that passes, that George Carlin rant becomes more and more true and more of a reality and is more and more accurate. Like it was crazy how much like he got that right. I mean, it's insane. They don't want citizens. They want obedient workers who have nothing and are willing to work for nothing. And don't think we'll just do what the ruling class wants. People today are more afraid of improvement than degeneracy. Yeah. It's kind of depressing how willing so many Americans are like accepting how bad things are. It's kind of depressing. Give me 1 second. I need to go grab my coffee. Well, that's why they're gonna Absalom Jones, they're gonna continue to crack down on Americans' freedoms. They're going to continue to crack down on Americans' freedoms because they know that people are going to continue to get sick of it. And that's why they're going to become more militant. The U.S. is going to become more militant. Hold on a sec. Let me grab my coffee. Maybe I don't burn these myself. I actually say I'm getting so strong. You just said chips. I don't mind. I just like, smelling all sauce. Is your live over? No. I'm only in the first hour. You know what's so cute is yikes, white gray, bat ear chicken, bat ears shaking. My dog has little like bat ears, like looking up at me. It's so pathetic. He loves the heat. So like if the heater's on, he'll stand near it. Or if there's like a heated blanket, he'll sit on it. It's so pathetic. All right, what'd I miss? Yeah, it's all a matter of just like getting people to accept less and less. Like it's all just a matter of getting people to accept less and less, pitting working people against each other, getting people to accept less and less, more crumbs, more crumbs, more crumbs, more crumbs, less healthcare, no pensions, nothing, no good standard of living, no housing. You'll never own a home. You're not going to own anything and you're going to like it. And if you're mad, don't look up. If you're mad, don't look up. Don't look at the corporations. Don't look at the billionaires. Don't look at the oligarchs. Don't look at, the people that actually run this country. Look at poor people and look at immigrants. Exactly. It's like the oldest fucking trick in the book, and yet it still works. Ew. Why does my dog smell bad? Wiggy. Wiggy. Oh, my little ham. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Or blame Muslims. Yes, exactly. Hey, Zach. Or, yeah, exactly. Or blame Muslims. Of course. That's their other fave. That's the other fan fave. DEI. Yeah, like it just, they're such losers. Like you guys saw, I'm sure, the videos where they were accusing these Black people of looting when it was their house. Like they were Black people that lived in this house and were moving out their stuff. And they just said, oh, look, Black people, and accused them of looting. Like it's so pathetic. Oh my gosh, no, I didn't. Let me write that down again on my new thing, the rules for rulers. You know what? I need to be so much better about organizing my tasks. Who has a really good like Post-it app or task manager, that's simple to use and intuitive? I remember a long time ago watching a Joe Rogan episode years ago, like 5 years ago, and he had a really good task manager that had Post-its. Like they weren't real Post-its, they were like electronic Post-its. But he had like a task manager that had Post-its everywhere and it looked really cool. I could never find the episode again to find out what the app was called. I can never find the episode again to find out what the website was called. But I really need like a better task manager because you just reminded me of this like documentary I wanted to watch. And I know I wrote it down and then I forgot. Like I don't even remember now where I wrote it. Yeah, I don't even remember. I don't even remember where I wrote it down. So I'm like, I need a better task manager. So if you guys have any ideas, the rules for the rulers. If you guys have any idea of a better task manager, because this is what ends up happening. I write it down or I'll put it on a Post-it, like a digital Post-it or a task list. And then I've got like 20. And then I'm like, oh, right. And then I have like a Trello board. I'm like, oh, right, my Trello board that has like 50 boards. And then I have like more tasks and then more Trello boards and more tasks. I mean, it's like, it's ridiculous. I have the worst ADHD. I loved making the task picture and then forgetting about it. Oh. Hmm. A little ham. I have a whole wall for physical post-its. Yeah, so anyway, I haven't watched the documentary yet. I will. Have you guys ever watched the documentary, The Occupation of the American Mind? I'm actually supposed to start a ADHD medication this week because I have ADHD too. I've always had it. But I can't be on like any of the stimulant medications because of my addiction history. So they're putting me on one that's like not a stimulant. Oh, I forgot I wanted to make fun of that Michaela Peterson loser. Wanted 18. Yeah, probably not. Okay, but um hmm. Okay, but speaking of this, okay, so I was watching the Pierce But Do You Condemn Hamas Morgan interview or thing yesterday panel that had Candace Owens and that Michaela Peterson loser. And it was really funny because at a certain point, she tries to she tries to she accuses Candace Owens of being manipulative, which generally I wouldn't disagree with. I think she is. However, in this particular exchange, she was literally doing exactly what she was accusing Owens of doing. She was lying and then being super manipulative about addiction in order to try to make people take her side and feel sorry for her. It was so cringe. It was so cringe. Do you want to watch it and make fun of it? Because it's really fucking cringe. I won't put it on if it's like, if no one wants to watch it, but I'm always down to make fun of Zionists like Michaela Peterson. Hey, Mo. Okay, yeah, I can find just we don't have to watch the whole thing. I'll find the area or the part that it was at, because when I saw it, I was like, you're such a douche. Like, especially since I am addict in recovery, okay? I have been in recovery rooms for over 10 years. I know how this shit works, okay? So when people are being really manipulative, um when people are being really manipulative, and lying about like what addiction is and what it isn't, for somebody like me who has been in recovery rooms for years, is sober, like I can tell you're full of shit. I can tell you're full of shit. I know you're being manipulative. Okay, let me see. Okay, but where's my history? Here we go.
To apple cider, but I just don't think that you wouldn't sleep for that long because of it.
Can you guys hear it?
So,
Where was
Michaela,
the ad hominem attack?
Well, I'll come to you in a moment, Candace. Michaela, how did you feel when you heard about that?
Well, I think it's funny because, like, we're connected online, Candace. So if she has an issue with my family, she could literally just message me. Her husband has my husband's phone number, you know? So it's just like a weird thing to do. I don't know.
First of all, why is she saying that she's attacking her? She actually didn't do any ad hominem attacks. She keeps saying ad hominem attacks. Like, do you not know what ad hominem means? She actually didn't do ad hominem attacks. You know what's embarrassing is I really resent this clown, Michaela Peterson, making me defend Candace Owens, because Candace Owens is a terrible person. Don't get it twisted. But in this specific case, Michaela Peterson is being such a creep. She's being such a creep. And she's accusing Candace Owens of doing ad hominem attacks when she's not. And then, as you'll see coming up, she does exactly what I told you guys a second ago that she does, where she tries to basically manipulate the audience and Candace Owens, like by extension, because Candace Owens clearly doesn't know anything about addiction. And so she is trying to exploit that and manipulate the situation and the audience by being like, you have no idea what an addiction is and this and that. Just and it's so cringe because she's literally wrong. Like, it's so cringe because she's literally wrong and or lying about addiction. Okay. Also, is it just me? Maybe you guys can correct me if there are any. I don't know if there are any conservatives in chat, but if there are, please somebody explain to me why anybody would listen to Michaela Peterson. She is incredibly boring. Incredibly boring. No personality. Personality of drying paint. Her and Chaya Raichik, if they were in a room together, they are both so incredibly boring and so uncharismatic that you might die. If you were in a room with them, you might actually die from the boredom. Literally negative charisma on this lady. Her credentials are being Jordan Peterson's daughter. Like, it's just Nepo shit. And that's not even to say that somebody has to have quote unquote credentials, but can you at least not be such a liar and so incredibly boring that everybody wants to throw themselves out the window when they're listening to you? And also, like, you know, oftentimes credentials can be weaponized for clowns, because Jordan Peterson has credentials and he is an actual joke. Okay. Anyway, let's keep going.
I don't know where it came from. As for the apple cider reaction, I've gone over this so many times, but it's fair if Candace didn't know this. Although I don't know why you would make a 26-minute video without doing some research. It wasn't apple cider, it was a sodium metabisulfite allergy. And it was near anaphylaxis. And people don't sleep in that state. And when we went through that, which was horrible, it was horrible.
Bro, 1.5 is my favorite speed to watch everything on, and now you have to do it as custom? What? Why do you have to do it as custom now? Why don't they have 1.5? What is happening? I think you have some trolls in chat. Who? Who do I need to kick out? Okay, but Michaela Peterson talks so slow, we have to at least do 1.5. She talks so insanely slow.
We had a hard time with the medical system. We didn't know how to treat it. It took us like years to figure out what the allergy was. If you talk to a doctor and say you have that allergy, they go, what's that? Like, it's not a common allergy, but it's not uncommon. You can Google it.
All right,
And it just seemed a little bit cruel to like pull that up. You also started that video by saying,
thank you for identifying
why is Jordan
yourself.
Peterson's audience, male audience, like diminishing? Let's get into it, which is just, it's manipulative, right? It's not true. So you have this giant audience, Candace, and you say these things as if they're true, which confuses people when they're not. So I don't know what to say about it. It's aggravating, and I think it's a mean girl high school tactic.
Okay, Candace, you're a mean girl.
Again, accusing me of ad hominem attacks when I feel like she's engaging in them. Just to be clear and to contextualize.
She is engaging in them. It is true also that Candace Owens is definitely a mean girl, high school girl. Like, you can see it in everything in the way that she talks. But again, that may be true. It is also true that Michaela Peterson is a hack and a liar. So
realize this clip, Jordan Peterson was trending. I cover trends, I cover the news, and I think it's fair to cover topics when they come to the surface. He was essentially tweeting ad hominem attacks that were written like sonnets. It was very bizarre, and people were going, what's going on with Dr. Jordan Peterson? And it became a Twitter trend, and so I covered it. Is there something wrong with covering a trending topic? I certainly don't think there is, or I wouldn't have a podcast or things to speak about.
Also, remember when he was losing his mind over Elmo? Like, Jordan Peterson is mentally unwell. Like, losing his shit over Elmo.
Regarding your father's audience, there were a lot of people who, after his addiction and feeling like he was not honest about his addiction, a lot of men who sort of switched off from Jordan Peterson. I mean, that is just a fact. I understand and respect that it is your father, and so you're naturally going to be defensive of him. And if it was a family member of mine, I would naturally be defensive of him. But to pretend like I plucked the topic out of pure air simply to be a mean girl and not because it was trending, literally saying that people are wondering what's going on with Jordan Peterson, I think that's you not being very genuine about why I was discussing it. And I think that I was tremendously respectful. I also paid him a huge compliment. I think his book and what it did for men worldwide at a time when men were being completely stomped on and masculinity was being questioned. And I said I would never remove that. I would never take the credit away from him. But there have
LOL, Jordan Peterson is a joke. He is a joke. And it's a failure of the left that we have allowed clowns like Jordan Peterson to be the representative of men. Like, that's so embarrassing.
been some things that have just registered to the public as odd. I didn't make your father trend that day. So I think he's able to deal with a little bit of criticism.
Want to respond, Michaela?
I guess I'm just confused because Candace said she wasn't into celebrity culture. So then I thought maybe it was just a personal thing. If it's not about a celebrity, but maybe I just got that wrong. I don't know what else I can respond to about that. People can listen to, can I finish? Thank you. People can listen to the 26-minute, like you can say, oh, I said something nice at the end. It's the same thing when you say these things and your tone is off. You can be like, oh, tone doesn't matter. But you say things sometimes in a bit of a manipulative fashion to get people to think a certain way. And then when people bring them up, you go, well, those aren't the words I said, but tone matters too. Anyway, people can go on YouTube and listen to the 26-minute section of your video on Dad and see what they think. I think it's high school mean girl tactics.
On Dad? Why are you being a weirdo? You're in a debate right now and you're like, anyway, people can go on your video and see all the mean things you said about Dad. Stop being weird. Stop being weird. You're in a debate. Also, note that she said she's being manipulative, okay? Because she's about to be manipulative in the next scene.
I don't care if you think that's ad hominem either.
Oh, I don't care. Badass.
Candace?
Well, I would just say that when I was referring to celebrity culture, I meant worshiping people because they're celebrities. So I think that would make me ideologically consistent. And like I said, he was trending that day. I covered it as a trending topic. It's not a mean girl thing, but it might feel that way to you because it's your father and you have a personal relationship. You know, I can apologize if you are hurt from me covering the news. But like I said, we have to develop a thicker skin when we're in the public. How many things are said about me routinely on a daily basis? If people want to cover after I have, you know, an addiction and people say, hey, after this, I think people lost faith in Candace Owens and that becomes a trending topic. I think that's fair game. It may not feel good to me, but I think that it would be fair game and it would be newsworthy.
Okay.
You do know that 1/5 of Americans are on psych meds, right? Are you aware of the statistics?
Yes.
Are those all people with addictions? Like, is that your?
See, this is the manipulation part. Okay, guys. So pay attention to what a creep Michaela Peterson is here. Okay. So instead of actually addressing what Owens said, she goes, you are aware that like 1/5 of Americans are on psych meds. Again, already manipulation tactic, because what she's trying to do is to, instead of addressing the fact that Jordan Peterson had an addiction and he lied about it, instead of addressing that, she wants to switch the conversation to, well, why do you hate addicts? Why do you hate addicts? Or why do you hate people on medication? You know, a lot of people are on medication too. And she's conflating people who are on psych meds with people who are addicts. They are not the same thing. I don't care if you are quote unquote anti-big pharma, if you hate medication, they're not the same thing. People who are on psych meds for ADHD or for bipolar disorder is not the same thing as being addicted to benzos. Not the same thing. So her trying to redirect the conversation from your dad is an addict and he lied about it, so I talked about it. And then Michaela responding with, you do know that a lot of people are on psych meds, don't you? Why do you hate them? Do you think they're all addicts and losers? Do you think that all the people that are on medication, on psych meds, are all big loser addicts like my loser addict dad? Do you think they're all meat eaters who do nothing but eat meat and sit around and twitch from their addiction? Do you think all the Americans are like that? Once again, manipulative as fuck and creating a straw man because she didn't say that. Being addicted to benzos is not the same thing as a person being medicated for like ADHD. So once again, yes, very Zionist manipulation tactic, 100%.
Your view of people on psych meds, just in general.
For this, I think people lost faith in Candace Owens, and that becomes a trending topic. I think that's fair game. It may not feel good to me, but I think that it
Okay,
would be
so
fair game.
that's how this starts.
Okay.
You do know that 1/5 of Americans are on psych meds, right? Are you aware of those statistics?
Yes.
Are those all people with
Correct.
addictions? Like, is that your
See the
that your-
conflation?
view of people on psych meds, just in general?
Conflation.
No, your father spoke out about his benzo addiction, so I don't understand why you're asking.
Yeah, no,
the question about people that take psych meds.
benzo dependence. Maybe you don't know anything about this. If you're on a psych med long term, you form a dependence on it, and it's very difficult to get off of. They're starting to teach this in medical school. It's a disaster because so many Americans are on psych meds. So yeah, he suffered from psych med withdrawal because they make you form a dependence on it, especially long term.
Nope. Again, right there. That's the lie. That's the manipulation. And she thinks she's getting away with it because of the fact that she thinks that she's getting away with it because of the fact that she assumes that Candace Owens is probably uneducated and ignorant about what it means to be an addict and the difference between being addicted to something and just being on psych meds. And she probably thinks she can get away with it because Candace Owens is just anti-pharma to begin with. She's anti-medication to begin with. She's anti vaccine. She's anti-psych med. So she thinks she can get away with this because of the fact that she knows, or that Candace Owens makes no distinction with medication. You see what I mean? Like, she's thinking, oh yeah, I can get away with this because Candace Owens makes no distinction between medications, between benzos, between addictive substances and psych meds that are meant to address things like bipolar disorder or antipsychotics. Like, she makes no distinction. So I can get away with this. And then she starts to be like, so what are you saying? That everybody is an addict? You know, people are actually starting to study this. Don't you realize that if people are on medication for a long period of time, they have withdrawal, and you're basically demonizing people getting off or withdrawing from medications. You're basically demonizing people who get off medication. And like, that's her angle she's trying to push, when there is a very big difference between withdrawing from a psych med that you've maybe been on for 15 years and benzo withdrawal. Benzo withdrawal can kill you. I was in a facility that I went to, like, it was like, something like a rehab facility. It wasn't exactly a rehab. It was like a treatment center. And one of the girls that I had become friends with there almost died from benzo withdrawal. Like, you can 100% die from alcohol withdrawal, from benzo withdrawal. You're not going to die from like antidepressant withdrawal. Antidepressant withdrawal can be really bad. Like, trust me, I know. I have withdrawn from antidepressants. It sucks. It sucks. But you're not going to die from it the way you can legit die from benzodiazepine withdrawal. So once again, she's conflating it. She's conflating people on psych meds for a variety of reasons. Antidepressants are different than antipsychotics, okay? So conflating antidepressants, antipsychotics, those different classes of medications, ADHD medications, with benzodiazepines, which are highly, highly addictive and have an incredibly serious withdrawal rate that can kill someone if not done properly, her conflating that is bullshit and it's a lie. And I think personally, I don't think she's that dumb. I think she knows it's a lie. And the reason why she's telling it is because she knows that Candace doesn't know the difference. So she thinks I can get away with it because Candace doesn't know the difference between a benzo and an SSRI. Candace Owens doesn't know the difference between an SSRI, you know, and antipsychotic and a benzo. So if I just lie, I can get away with it. No, you can't get away with it, bitch. Like, we know people who are on medication, who have any experience with medication, know that that's a lie. Once again, I'm not denying that there is withdrawal when you come off medication. I have come off many medications, okay? And I have had withdrawal from them and it sucks. But coming off of a medication and withdrawing from it is not the same thing as being on an incredibly addictive medication like a benzodiazepine that you have to take more and more and more of it, the more you become addicted to it and can kill you during its withdrawal. That is not the same thing. People are not addicted to, Lexapro the way that somebody becomes addicted to Ativan. No one's going to become addicted to fucking Lexapro the way they're going to become addicted to morphine. Like it's, or morphine's not a benzo, but Xanax. Let's say Xanax. You're not going to become addicted the way you're going to become addicted to Xanax. So get out of here. It's not the same thing. And she's trying to conflate that because she wants people to think that Candace Owens is just trashing anybody who's ever been on psychiatric medication, rather than what this is really about, which is Jordan Peterson being an addict and lying about it. He not only was an addict, but he shamed people for taking medication, shamed people who were addicts who couldn't get their life together, and then lied about it. And it is not the same thing, once again, for the people in the back, to be withdrawing from benzos as it is to have withdrawal from, let's say, an SSRI or an SNRI antidepressant.
Now calling it an addiction as if he was on heroin or something is manipulative, So when we talk,
no, it's not. And that's another thing. You're an idiot because no, it's not. Why are you assuming or saying that to say that it's addictive and it's an addiction is akin and unfair, and you're conflating it to heroin, which is unfair? No, it's not. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. First of all, why are you saying, because you know what the problem is with her saying that really gets on my nerves, is that what she's implying is that benzo addiction or opioid addiction is not serious because it comes from a doctor. Which is kind of funny because she's also an anti-vaxxer and she makes money off this whole, like, we hate doctors shtick, and we hate, like, Michaela Peterson makes money off of the we hate science shtick. So it's kind of funny that with that statement, when she goes, it's like you're comparing it to heroin. That's so unfair. No, it's not unfair, because opioid addiction and benzo addiction can be just as serious and just as life-threatening. You just don't think it is. Because, how does this person keep getting in? Okay, I just banned them again, okay? Ban. Okay, that person should not show up again. I just banned them from chat. But also, it's actually really pathetic when people do that. When people will, like, come into a chat of people they don't agree with just to spam it. Like, don't you have anything better to do? It's Sunday. Go outside. Touch grass. Get some coffee. Call your mom. Like, it's, like, embarrassing. Anyway, so it's embarrassing because she's trying to make it seem like, how dare you call it an addiction like heroin? Like, that's so awful. How could you say that? Like, it's just benzo addiction. So what you're saying is, even though you profit off anti-vax shit and anti-science shit, that basically what you're saying is benzo addiction and opioid addiction is not as serious as heroin addiction because it comes from a doctor. Like it's a prescription, so it's not as serious, right, Michaela?
Talked about it and we were very
Yeah.
honest about what was going on. Part of it was to spread awareness that 1/5 of Americans are on medications that cause dependence and don't know it. It's horrible. People die because of it. So I think
Yeah, you're right. They do. So stop conflating regular medication and like antidepressants and antipsychotics and ADHD meds to fucking benzos.
laughing about it is like, it's not cool.
I certainly don't think I laughed at it. I think benzo dependence is pretty much a euphemism for an addiction. And if you know anything about my work
That's
and
the
me being
problem,
super
though.
crunchy and speaking about why I think medicines are bad because they do create dependencies, which then yield people going onto the streets for something strong.
And she falls right into the trap. She fell right into Michaela Peterson's trap. She immediately goes, no, I've spoken out about medicine. I'm against medicine. So she's falling right into her trap. She's like, oh, that's the problem. You're calling it an addiction. It is an addiction. Benzo addiction is an incredibly real thing. Benzo addiction is an incredibly real thing. And she's like, no, it's not. No, it's not. You're conflating it. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And then she's like, and then Candace Owens walks right into her trap and goes, no, I'm against medicine. Who said it? One Earth, who said anything about trusting Big Pharma? It's not a matter of trusting Big Pharma. Like, I really don't. I need you guys to understand the difference between trusting something and understanding the nuances of something. Like, I don't trust Big Pharma, but I do believe in medication. I am on medication, like for a various amount of mental illnesses that I have. I don't trust big agriculture, but I still buy food. Like, it's not so black and white. I feel like people always treat these things like they're so black and white. Well, do you trust Big Pharma? Well, no. I don't trust Big Pharma. I don't trust any big corporation. I don't trust big agriculture. I don't trust the military industrial complex. I don't trust big corporations in general. I don't trust big insurance. But these things are not black and white. I still am going to look at things on an individual level and assess whether or not I'm going to trust to take a medicine or not. In the same way that I'm going to assess what kind of food I buy, what kind of groceries I buy. Yeah, there's a lot of conflation between there is a lot of conflation between Big Pharma as an industry and medicine. Exactly, Jamon. Yeah, exactly. I don't need to like Big Pharma to understand I need insulin. Exactly. Exactly. And I don't need to like Big Pharma to understand that being on medication absolutely changed my life for the better, because I used to have chronic panic attacks, and nothing helped until I got on medication. And I tried everything, okay? I was raised by an anti-vaxxer and an anti-Big Pharma dad who basically scared the shit out of me and made it so that I was afraid to take medication, and I fought taking it every step of the way because he really scared me. And I also am a Christian and was going to a church where they basically told me that taking medication was wrong, and it meant that I wasn't trusting God. So, yeah. Like, somebody can try to tussle with me all day on this subject. Like, I know what I'm talking about, and I also know what I've experienced. Like, no one's going to like try to like convince me out of like my own experiences that I've had with growing up with like an anti-vax, anti-medication father. And as a result, refusing medication and suffering unnecessarily for fucking years because I was so afraid to take medication, and how much it helped me deal with my OCD and panic attacks when I had tried everything. And I thought I was just cursed and God was mad at me because I wasn't praying hard enough. And I've been through a lot of shit, folks. Okay. So, yes, and it is complicated. It is not so black and white to just say medication bad, you know, whatever. Like, it's not. Like, medication and medicine, vax, like all this kind of like stuff, these things are not black and white. And medication, specifically when it comes to psychiatric medication, is very personal. It's very personal. It's personal to the individual. And yeah, I don't think everybody needs medication, but some people do. Just like I don't think everybody is an addict or an alcoholic, but some people are, and they can't drink as a result. And I'm one of those people that can't drink because I'm an alcoholic. And it's going to end very badly for me. One Earth, the reason why I'm using it as a jab against her is because she's full of shit. That's why. That's why. Because she's full of shit. She's a phony. She's profiting off of peddling these beliefs to people. And then she's sitting up here on Al Gore's internet lying to this audience and trying to conflate opioid or benzo addiction with psychiatric medication, all because she does not want her dad to be accountable for his addiction. So we're just pretending now that things aren't addictions. We're just going to pretend that opioids or benzos are not an addiction because Michaela Peterson doesn't want her dad to have to be accountable. Like, that's why I'm using it pejoratively, because she's a fraud. Michaela Peterson. Yeah, you know, I think the reason why I get so exercised about this too, you guys, is because I have been somebody that has been scammed and lied to by people and believed this shit. So I get very like exercised about it because like I was somebody, especially when I was like suffering and I was younger and I was like an insane hypochondriac. I was dealing with all these mental health issues, physical issues that I was having. And I, because of the influence of being raised by my dad, who was very anti-medication, anti-vax, was always scaring the shit out of me when it came to food, I gravitated toward these charlatans and would buy their stupid pills and buy their stupid cleanses and watch their stupid YouTube videos and believed their stupid bullshit. And I suffered a lot and wasted a lot of money. So I get exercised about it because I've been through it. I've seen how predatory these people are and how they preyed on people like me who had health anxiety. They preyed on people like me who were, you know, had bad experiences with doctors. I'd had bad experiences with doctors. And so I didn't trust doctors and I didn't trust pharma and I didn't trust any of those. And so I would go to these alternative medicine people, and so many of them were frauds and charlatans who preyed on people like me who had really bad anxiety and were really scared and didn't trust the doctors and didn't trust the pharmaceutical industry. And so I was going to them and they totally preyed on people like me and scam people like me. So it's like, yeah, I get a little exercised about it because as somebody who has been through that, I think these people are creeps. They're creeps. And they prey on people who have experienced that trauma and those people's anxieties in order to make money off of them. And it's really gross. It's really gross. It's a nasty, nasty way to make money.
Stronger. I mean, the benzo addiction becomes a heroin addiction because the doctor won't write you the prescription anymore. So you turn to the streets for something stronger because your body is dependent on it. I'm sorry that, again, you are offended by this conversation simply because it is your father. I don't think I've been offensive in my language. And if you find it to be manipulative, that I think that it impacted the way that men saw him when they publicly were saying that on Twitter. We covered the tweets that people were writing on that day about how, you know, they used to idolize.
It's also not just because of the addiction thing. Like, people started realizing that he was a hack and that he's a psychopath. Like, people started noticing that too. It wasn't just the addiction. People were like, wow, Jordan Peterson's really full of shit. He's really crazy. He's a Zionist shill. He's a lunatic who starts fights with Elmo on Twitter.
Him, they're so grateful for his book, but this is not the person that they knew. Again, I'm sorry you're offended by that, but it's just the reality of what happened. And I can tell this is a sensitive topic for you, but it is what it is. Michaela, I don't know what to say. I don't think anybody's laughed at it. I think it's a good conversation to be had. And no one is more anti-Big Pharma than me. I mean, I have an entire series against Big Pharma. So
there she goes again.
I don't even know where to start with that. You know, benzo addicts will go to the
First of all, again, I don't know why you're getting so butthurt about this, Michaela. Benzo addiction is, yes, an addiction. It is. In fact, if anything, she thinks she's defending it, but actually you're just stigmatizing addicts more, because what you're saying is, you know, if you're addicted to benzos, like, you're broken and unfixable. So she can't admit that her dad is an addict. She can't admit that he's a benzo addict because of the fact that, you know, that would be really unacceptable. That would be unacceptable. No, it's not. No, it's not. A lot of people are addicts. A lot of people are addicts. A lot of people are addicts. And it's very real. And so her trying to be like, no, my dad's not a benzo addict. My dad's not a benzo addict. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. It's a very real addiction. So you can, you know, you can stop doing whatever this is. You can stop doing whatever this is to be like, no, he's not an addict. No, he is an addict, and that's okay. Benzo addiction is real, and we should address it as such, instead of you trying to be in denial about it because you want to defend your dad. So you're going to be in denial and try to gaslight all of us about what benzo addiction is because you want to defend your dad. And then, like I said, what's her face? Candace Owens walks right into it by being like, no, I hate Big Pharma. Like, bro, stop.
The street for heroin. We were trying to spread awareness about psych med withdrawal, and we were very honest about what everybody was going through. I went through psych med withdrawal myself. It was one of the worst experiences in my life. It kills people, causes akathisia, which makes people suicidal. It's a terrible side effect. So that's what we were talking about. Now, if you want to twist that a little bit and be like, he's losing his audience because he's an addict.
No, again, she lies again. Oh, I came off a withdrawal, and people die from it. Again, once again, conflating all psych meds with benzos is a lie. She's lying.
You know, I don't really know what to say.
Okay. I think we've had a robust exchange about that. You both made your views very clear. Let's slightly lighten the mood here. Turn to some cultural matters that have been in the news in the last few days. The Golden Globes last night, Candice, the host Nikki Glaser seemed to take us back.
Who gives a shit about the Golden Globes? Oh, thank you for the super chat, One Worth Nation. Everyone give $2. That adds up. That's true. It does add up. It does add up. Thank you so much, One Earth Nation, for the super chat. Thank you also for being a member. You can also become a member on YouTube. I appreciate you. Yeah, these people piss me off. Like, they just piss me off because, like, I don't know. I feel like they just act like this is a game. It's not a game. I've known many people who have died from addiction. I've been sober for 10 years, so I've seen it a lot. And both of my parents are addicts. Okay. I'm an addict. A lot of my siblings are addicts. Like, there's a lot of addiction in my family. I'm Irish. What can I say? You know, it's genetic. But yeah. So Jordan Peterson is a clown. And so is Michaela. Old Boney Bird. Oh, I just missed what you were saying, Old Boney Bird. Yes, they are, but didn't destroy my life and do crazy, insane stuff to get coffee. Exactly. And by the way, when I say I'm an addict, I mean that exactly in the sense of the word. Okay. I have been addicted to coffee forever. I am addicted to sugar. I think I told you guys this yesterday, right? I went on like a crash out binge on candy, like the last week. I used to be addicted so bad to Mountain Dew, and I had to stop drinking Mountain Dew because my teeth were falling out. Because I would drink like 4 20-ounce bottles of Mountain Dew a day. I was so addicted to Mountain Dew. And then I switched it for coffee so that I would stop losing my teeth. I am still so addicted to candy that if I start eating candy, I will end up on an actual candy bender, folks. Like I was telling you, I was literally crashing out because I was eating so much candy that I made myself sick. And then I crashed. I fell asleep. I slept for almost a whole day, folks. And then when I woke up, it was only to eat more candy. Okay. I literally fell asleep and then woke up just to eat more candy. Not to mention the fact that I've been addicted to cigarettes. Okay. Like, smoker for a very, very long time. So like literally, okay? Coffee addict, sugar addict, cigarette addict, like fucking alcoholic. So like, yeah. I feel you. But again, like you just said, like I've had all those addictions. They are not the same as withdrawing from benzos. I did a Mountain Dew is poison. I know. I was so addicted to it. It was bad. It was bad. No, and I still struggle, you guys, so hardcore with sugar addiction and just crap addiction because of the fact that like my upbringing was so shitty. Like it was so ghetto, you guys. Like when I was a kid, I had a perpetual Kool-Aid mustache because that's how like hood rat my family was. Like there wasn't any like, oh, we're gonna make sure our kids eat vegetables or anything like that. Like, no, my family was so fucking hood rat. Like I just drank Kool-Aid all the time and had like a Kool-Aid mustache all the time. Like I've been addicted to sugar for as long as I can remember, and I still struggle with it. Like I still try to like eat healthier, you know, it's the new year and I'm like, oh, I got to eat healthier and this and that. I got to try to eat vegetables. But I still, even in my adulthood, struggle with sugar addiction and crap food addiction. Like my favorite food, which is why it's my handle on TikTok. My handle on TikTok is cheese fries because it's my favorite food. Cheese fries, folks, the fake kind, the really good kind that like is liquid and you take the fries and you dip it in the liquid cheese sauce, that shit from Taco Bell. Folks, I literally did. I love Taco Bell so much. I did my first look photos for my wedding there. When I got married, I did my first look photos at Taco Bell. Yeah, like seriously, that's how much I love fake cheese and fast food. Like, so yeah, I have had the struggle that I have had my whole life with sugar that I still have because I literally just, like I said a second ago, had like a full on crash out and ate nothing but candy for 2 days. All my favorite candy, okay? I told you guys this yesterday. My favorite candy is anything blue. I love blue candy for some reason. I just do. I ate like a million blue taffies, the Laffy Taffies. I love the blue only Sour Patch Kids, like the bags of the just blue only Sour Patch Kids. Blue sour straws. I love Starburst, Skittles, sour Skittles, sour gummies. I love sour, what are they called? The sour gushers. I love all of that shit. Oh my gosh. Fun dip. Oh, and that's what I did. Oh, I love Pop-Tarts. Like, and I will just that shit. Okay. That's what I did. I literally would fall asleep and then I would wake up. I'd fall asleep and then I would wake up, eat more blue candy, eat more Starburst, eat more Skittles, eat more taffy, and then fall back asleep. So yes, the addiction that I have to candy is real, and I'm really going to try to address it this year. I'm always trying to address it. I'm always really trying to address it, but I'm really going to try to address it this year. But it's hard. It's hard. I admit it is very, very hard, especially since, like I said, it's something that I've always struggled with my whole life because it's something that I've struggled with my whole life because my family was so like shitty and like we're like, yeah, you can eat candy for breakfast. Like how you guys, my family was so ghetto. My family was so hood rat that like how I lost my baby teeth a lot was them just like crumbling apart and falling out of my mouth. That happened to 2 of my baby molars. On One Earth, thank you so much, One Earth, for the super chat. Animals seek drugs when their natural environment is compromised by human infrastructure. They become addicts when they, yeah. Actually, and one of the things that I learned in recovery rooms that I think is true is that a lot of addiction, you know, there are chemical components to addiction for sure. And anybody who's ever been through withdrawal knows that. But also like other parts of addiction have a lot to do also with like instability and lack of connection and not feeling like you have, you know, things in your life, support in your life, love in your life. And so you're reaching for things to compensate for that. Thank you so much, Allison, for the super chat. As always, it comes back to capitalism and racism. I'm not sure what you're referring to here. Are you talking about addiction? Thank you again for the super chat. I appreciate all you guys so much. Yes, I do know this. I do know this, Sarah, about Big Sugar. You know how I was telling you guys earlier that I'm a hypochondriac and I've been through a lot of fear as a result of the way that I was raised and a lot of the things that my dad said. And because of that, I read a lot of books like that. Like I got really into like who's behind big pharma, who's behind big ag, who's behind big food. I read, foods like I read books like Grain Brain and Wheat Belly and, how you should start. And actually, the more you get into it, the more overwhelmed you become, because basically the moral of the story is you can't do anything about anything and everything is poisoned. Like it's actually really depressing. That's what I came away from it. That basically you can't do anything and everything is poison. Like that's why like I would read these books and be like, okay, so basically we're screwed. Yeah, that is the one thing that has been consistent over time is that vegetables are good. That's the one thing. If you notice all the trends about diets and food and all this other stuff that come and go, and people saying this is bad. Oh, wait, it's not. Eggs are bad. Oh, no, they're not. Then you have the sugar lobby being like, oh, sugar's not really that bad for you. And then you have people being like, no, that's the sugar lobby. Sugar really is bad for you. The one main consistent thing that we can all agree on is that vegetables are good for you. That has never been in dispute. I do try to eat fruits, Mo, but you know what I noticed, and I don't know if any of you guys can relate to this, but that the more you get into the addiction of sugar, the less any other food tastes like food. Like I actually do love fruit, and if I'm eating healthier, I really enjoy fruit. Like I love fruit. But the more unhealthy I eat and the more sugar and candy I eat, the more fruit starts to taste like nothing. Does anybody know what I'm talking about, or am I alone? And it's actually really overwhelming when you think about it, because then it basically like the conclusion you will come to if you start to really go down the rabbit hole of all of this, like big ag, big food, big pharma, basic big meat. What you will come away with is that literally you can't eat anything, because you'll read a book like Wheat Belly and you'll find that wheat is, they modified it. They modified the way they grow wheat crops. You can't eat wheat. Okay. And then obviously we know about our meat, the way that our meat is poisoned, the way that they pump it with hormones, the way they treat the animals, the way that the way that we do industrial farming here. So meat's out of the question. Dairy, big dairy is a very powerful lobby too. The way that they poison the animals, all the shit that they put in the animals for dairy. Okay, so dairy's out of the question. Then you've got whole grains. Then you read a book like Grain Brain and they talk about how actually grains are poisonous and they've got a lot of arsenic in them. And they also add a lot of shit to that. So really you can't eat grains either, because it's going to hurt your gut connection and the microbiome in your gut. And then once you're done, and then there's oils. You can't have oils because oils are actually hydrogenated, and they put hydrogenated oils in everything. And soybean oil is really bad for you, and soy is really poisonous and bad for you. So soy is out of the question, and so are all the oils, okay? And they can't be cooked at any decent temperature. Even if you put them on low temperature, they're still going to become toxic. Oils, even if you're using olive oil, will become toxic once you put heat on it. So oil's out of the question. So you know what that comes down to? You cannot eat anything. Nothing. Except for some vegetables. And even then, they're grown with Monsanto crops. So actually your vegetables are poisoned too, because they use Monsanto and they use Dow Chemical to poison all the crops, so that the vegetables that are being grown for you are not only poisoned with Monsanto and with all these other poisons that they put into the crops, they also pick them too early. So the nutrients that would have been in those crops, if you would have grown them locally, are not there because they picked them too soon for the nutrients to be able to actually get into your body. You guys see where I'm going with this? Do you guys see where I'm going with this? I hope you understand that anybody who's watching this and just heard me go on this little rant, I hope you understand from the rant that I just went on that this is not my first rodeo with dealing with food issues. This is not my first rodeo with dealing with food issues. I've had food issues my whole life, and I've had issues as a result of my food issues and my fears and my hypochondria about all of this kind of shit, as I was telling you guys earlier. So that is why I know all of these things. And that is the reason why I've experienced the fear and the panic around all these different things, because no, it's very real. I guess, yes, of course I'm being a little bit hyperbolic, but it is a very real fear and a very real thing that I have experienced, where I literally got to the point where I was like, okay, so basically I can't eat anything. Basically. No, but also that's another thing. I don't like when people act like sugar addiction is not real. No, it's very real. Okay. I literally spent all weekend withdrawing from it. Thank you, lowest levels. Also, I love processed food. Don't get it twisted. No, sugar addiction's not only really real, but I love processed food. That is my comfort. One of my favorite foods aside from cheese fries is top ramen. Like, I love ramen. Like, one of my favorite foods, the crappy kind that you get at the grocery store for like 30 cents. It's one of my favorite. It's my comfort food. The other night when I was withdrawing from candy, because like I said, sugar withdrawal, very real. As I was withdrawing from candy, I made 3 packets of chicken ramen and just like ate them. Like, I love processed food. Oh, cheese fries are so good, but that's what it's hard. It's hard, you know? And also when you are like me, okay, my personality, and I don't know if any of you guys can relate to this, my personality oftentimes, and I struggle with this, I'm trying to get better about it, is very all or nothing. It's very all or nothing. Like, I'll be like, I used to do this too when I was struggling a lot more in my eating disorder. I would be like, I'm not eating anything but raw food. I'm not eating anything but raw, organic, homemade food. I'm making it all from scratch. Nothing processed. I won't even eat cans beans because they've got, added sodium to them. Everything is going to be organic. And then I crash for 2 weeks and eat nothing but garbage. So I'm like on this kick where I'm like, everything's got to be perfect. Everything's got to be organic and healthy. And then I crash and all I eat is shit. It's just Rama and Taco Bell and Pop-Tarts and candy and curly fries and pizza pockets, even though like 3 minutes ago, I was like, oh no, I can't eat vegetables that aren't organic. I literally struggled with that for years. See ya. Much love. Thank you, One Earth. And thank you again for the super chats. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody who's a member. Which, speaking of members, Sarah, thank you. You just became a new member. Thank you for becoming a member. We love our members here, folks. Actually reminds me. Thank you so much, old Boney Bird, for the super chat. Pretty sure the doomsday clock will be closer to midnight on January 28th. Oh, no. 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 You guys. Oh, why? Thank you, Old Bodie Bird, for the depressing reminder and the super chat. I had to get on my browser to do it. Oh, thank you so much, Sarah. I really appreciate that. I appreciate literally every single one of you guys, who are members and support this channel in any way, the super chats, like, I appreciate you guys so much. I love you guys. And it means so much to me that you appreciate the content and the work that I do. Oh, how can you become a member or super chat? Richard, you just have to go to YouTube. It looks like from where you're chatting, you're watching me on X. In order to send a super chat or to become a YouTube member, you just have to go on YouTube and do it through my YouTube channel, which is the same. It's I Am Blakely, which is the same as it is here. At I Am Blakely on YouTube, and you can do it that way. Or for people who don't want to be on YouTube, you can also support me by becoming a patron or a member on Ko-Fi. Those are 2 other ways you can support me. Sarah is hot. Oh, did you hear that, Sarah? You're getting compliments. Chad thinks you're hot. Guys, it's so crazy. Yes, please. Thank you. Subscribe, like, and hit the bell for notifications. You guys, it's so crazy that the doomsday clock is going to get set. And then on January 20th, Trump is going to get sworn in. They're going to ban TikTok. The whole thing is just cray. It just, honestly, the thing that worries me too, which is why laughing is very important, guys. We always have to have time that we can laugh and make fun of stupid shit, because I feel like things are about to get really dark. Like, things are about to get very, very dark. Things are about to get worse. And I don't just mean that because Trump is coming into office, okay? Because obviously, I'm sure a lot of you guys saw Trump and Obama laughing it up, like besties at Carter's funeral, laughing it up, It's a big club and you ain't in it. Even though they were calling Trump the end of democracy, but now they're besties, laughing it up, chatting at the funeral. So when I say things are about to get bad, I do mean because of Trump. So yes, Trump sucks and he will suck. But I don't just mean because of Trump, because let's also not get it twisted that Biden is garbage. And he literally went and gave the Israeli regime $8 billion on his way out the door. Absolute trash bag. One of the worst presidents we've ever seen, just based on that. But it is about to get worse because of the acceleration of empire collapse. So that's what I mean. It's going to get darker because they're about to steal more of our money. They're about to loot the treasury further. They're about to pass a giant tax cut for the rich and corporations. They fired Lena Khan. And so they're about to give everything to the corporations, everything to big tech. Okay. Lena Khan was great, and she was actually taking on big tech. That is gone now. Big tech is about to get bigger. They're about to get more corrupt. They're about to do more mergers. Big tech is fixing to do more mergers, more corruption, more censorship, okay? They're going to be doing way more censorship. They are going to crack down on us like nobody's business. They're going to be cracking down that censorship. And they're about to take way more of our money and siphon it off and give it to the billionaire class. Democrats are pathetic, feckless losers that are not going to do anything to stop any of this. Nothing. Don't wait for them to come to rescue you. It will not be coming. There will be no rescuing coming. The Democrats are losers. Losers. And the climate catastrophe is about to get even worse than it already has been. Even worse than it already has been. Which is why we have to make sure that we do a couple things. Number one, this is what I'm going to say, okay? That we need to do a couple things. We need to, one, be aware. Be aware of who is trying to lie to you and distract you. Be aware of that. There are going to be a lot of people and a lot of people in power that are going to try to lie to you and distract you from what's actually happening. Be aware of that. Be aware of the insane robbery that is about to take place. There is a massive looting of the treasury that is about to take place. Be aware of that. Be aware of the climate catastrophe that is going to continue to barrel down on the United States and the entire world. And be aware of the fact that they are going to try to pit you against your fellow neighbors. We need to support each other. And remember that there is a lot of people in positions of power that are going to try to pit you against your neighbor. It is important that who you are focusing your ire at are the people in power. It doesn't mean that we can't, dunk on people who are clowns, who are acting like clowns, like acting a fool. But like, we need to keep our eye on the prize here. Like, focus on the people that are actually doing this. And those are the people in power, the plutocrats, the corporations. Thank you so much for the super chat, Melby. Happy to see you on here with the impending TikTok ban. Yes, thank you. I've been on here for a minute, but yeah, definitely gonna be on here probably a lot more because of the TikTok ban. It's such a scam. It's such a scam that they're even doing this. It's so embarrassing. It's such a scam. Like, it's amazing. Can we have anything in this country? No, you can't have anything in this country. It's such a joke. It's such a joke. Oh my gosh, I can't. Sarah, how do we stop it? How do we work towards a solution? Yeah, no, for real. I think that that's how we start, is to organize amongst ourselves and create communities to help support people in our community and regular people. And everybody has different skills and different talents. You know what I mean? So like, we need to create communities of like actually helping each other, and people who have different skills and different talents. Some people are good at talking. Some people are good at educating. Some people are good at organizing. Some people are good at organizing protests. Some people are good at cooking and community gardens. Like, I really think that we're going to have to actually be very, very serious about giving our regular fellow citizens the benefit of the doubt and actually creating community and supporting each other. Because as the ruling class continues to loot the place, they are going, in order to legitimize themselves, they have to make regular people hate each other. Do you know what I mean? Like, in order to legitimize what they're doing, they are going to have to rely on making regular people hate each other. That's why they hate unions so much. That's why they're always trying to bust up unions. It's not just because they don't want people to have a right to form a union and have a good workplace. It's also because they don't like people from different ideological backgrounds organizing together. They don't like that. I disagree on the climate change, Austin. Brian, but here's the thing. I'm going to tell you, Brian, my friend, climate change doesn't give a shit if you believe in it or not. It's still coming for you. It's still coming for all of us. It's just like I always say, climate change is like hell, right? I say I'm a Christian, okay? So this is what I use. Climate change is like hell. You can believe in it or not, but it doesn't change that it exists and that some people are on their way there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it doesn't care if you believe in it or not. Blakely's apocalypse to-do list. Oh, thank you so much, Old Boney Bird, for the super chat and the very funny comment. I love that you guys are funny too, because that is another thing on my to-do list. Thank you for reminding me, Old Boney Bird, that laughing, okay? I feel like I am never going to need to emphasize this enough. We need to support each other in many ways. But one of the ways that we need to support each other and create community in 2025, as this shit show continues as our late stage capitalist hellscape empire continues to crumble in front of us, we need to support each other in many ways, but also to laugh. You will not, in my opinion, I believe, because my childhood was really fucked up, I believe that partially how I survived my childhood was that me and my sisters always laughed a lot. And humor was a way that we got through a lot of what we went through. I believe that humor is an incredibly powerful therapeutic tool that we all need to have in order to get through what is coming. And what is coming is going to be just it's not to be like fearmonger and say that this year is going to be uniquely bad. It's that because we are in a crumbling, collapsing empire, it only is going to get worse naturally, because that's what the acceleration of the collapse is. So I'm not saying that like Biden's administration has been good, or even if Kamala had won it, it'd be good. No, we are on the trajectory for world collapse and empire collapse, regardless of who is president. I just happen to think that because of Trump and the Republicans' viciousness and their love for tax cuts for the rich and corporations and ushering that in really fast, we're just going to get there faster. Like the Trump administration is going to accelerate the empire collapse faster, even though like it would still be accelerating even under Democrats. But I also appreciate your guys' humor, because you guys also make me laugh. Yay, Richard became a member. Thank you, Richard, for becoming a member. You know what I can't wait to get, you guys, and I hope to get this in 2025. 2025 is going to be lit, you guys, for our YouTube community, especially since TikTok is getting banned. So I'm going to be on here a lot more. And you know what I really, really want? One of my goals for 2025 in our lit YouTube community is I want a soundboard. I want a soundboard so bad. I love when people use soundboards. I love soundboards. Thank you so much, Richard, for becoming a member. Yes, you can become a member on YouTube or Ko-Fi, or you can become a patron and support the channel. The people behind the TikTok ban are the same people doing the genocide. Correct. Random Stuff said, I'm not good at anything. Oh, we're talking about the empire collapse. Yes, you are. Everybody is good at something. Everybody is good at something. Wait. So I'm going to make a sign up list of skills, and I'm going to need y'all to sign up. We can't be divided more. Yes, I really like this. That's a really good idea. Sarah, if you're not in the Discord, you should definitely join the Discord. I have a link to the Discord in my YouTube. That might be one way to get the list out there. You can also put the list in chat. But that's a good idea. That's what I mean. This is what I'm talking about, folks. Brainstorming, ideas, community. That's one of the reasons why they banned TikTok, because TikTok actually was very good at fostering community online. It was very good at it. The algorithm on TikTok is incredibly superior to any of the other fast app social medias. And it made it so that it was very easy to organize on there and find community, find people who agreed with you and build community with them, or even people who didn't always agree with you, but like had things in common with you. That is also one of the reasons why they're banning TikTok. They don't want people to have community because it is easier, as I said at the very beginning of this stream, it is easier to manipulate people when they are lonely. It is harder to manipulate people and to control people when they have community, when they have a way to get their grievances out and talk about their feelings and to talk with other people. It is easier to manipulate people and control people when they feel alone, when they feel isolated. And that is another reason why they banned TikTok. They did not like the fact that TikTok did a very good job at helping people find each other. Like, I've met some really amazing people on TikTok. I think I missed. Oh, that's so cool. I love this. It shows Old Boney Bird that you are a member for 7 months. The revolution will not be televised. Song by Jill Scott. Yes, that is a great song. Thank you so much, Old Boney Bird, for being a member for 7 months. That's so awesome. Oh, Old Boney Bird, one of the OG members. Brian said, I'm a mechanic. I know a good deal about vehicles too, and motor vehicles. Exactly. That's a skill. That's a skill that people need. In fact, I would argue we do not have enough of that. We do not have enough people in this country right now who are mechanics, who are good with their hands, who are builders, carpenters, plumbers. Like, we need more of that. But everybody has skills. Even if you don't think that you do, everybody has skills. Some people are really good at marketing. Some people are really good at organizing. Some people are really good at building. Some people are really good at sewing and cooking, and like there's all kinds of different things that people are good at. Oftentimes, you don't realize that you have skills and talents until you're around other people that don't have the skills and talents that you do. Because oftentimes, the skills and the talents that you have, you don't realize that they are because you're just used to having them. You know what I mean? Like if you're somebody who's always been natural at organizing people, you don't think of it as being a skill or a talent because you've just naturally been good at it. Oh my gosh, old Boney Bird, I was about to freak out. I was about to actually, don't do that to me. Don't fuck with me like that. Don't do me dirty like that. Oh my gosh, no. Because old Boney Bird knows that we have had so many issues with the fucking Discord. So many issues. And the Discord, the link has broken like 575 times, and I've had to redo the link like 575 times. Oh my gosh. Which, by the way, last time I was in the Discord, I don't get to be in the Discord nearly as much as I want to be, but it is a good place for us to foster community, whether like I'm personally like in there or not all the time. Like it's a great place for us to foster community. So definitely join the Discord. And the last time I was there, one of our mods in the Discord said that they needed help. They needed another mod. So if anybody wants to be a mod there, that would also be cool. Wait, what's after 129? Oh my gosh, is it really saying that? I'm going to lose it. I'm going to actually lose it. I'm going to actually lose it. The link is not working. I literally put don't expire. I literally put never expire. Why do I have to redo it every time? I'm going to... Whew, calm down. Everybody just calm down. Me, I'm telling myself that. Calm down, calm down, calm down. First of all, I don't even know. Discord drives me crazy because I don't even fully understand how it works. But also, this is making me insane. I cannot tell you guys how many times that I have created a new invite link that puts never expire. Never expire. And it'll say no limits. Okay. I'm doing it again right now. Expires never. Max number of uses, no limit. Generate new link, copy. I just don't understand why I have to do it every time. Like, I don't understand why they're making me redo it every single time. Like, this is cray. This is just crazy. Okay. If I go to the, it's in the community tab. Wait. All right, so if you go to the community tab, I am trying to update it right now. Yeah, I put, this is a link that should not expire. This was a month ago, okay? All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this old link. Okay, I just deleted it, even though I did it a month ago, okay? Now I'm going to create a new one, okay? Let's see here. New Discord link. It's just crazy. Why do I have to do it every time? This link, okay, I just did it. So tell me it should work now. But why do I have to redo it every time? I put expire never. I put expire never. I put number of uses, however many. This is crazy. Yeah. Thank you so much, Richard, for the super chat. I would read your comment, but you did not leave one. But I appreciate you, and I appreciate the super chat and the support. Yeah, the other main reason why they banned TikTok is A, they don't want people being able to find community with each other, but also they were upset about Gaza. They were upset that they couldn't control the narrative about Gaza as easily on TikTok. They're like, oh, this is a very inconvenient. We can't control what the pros in America are seeing. I guess we're just going to have to get rid of it. All right. Let me try. I don't know if it lets you do a rapid poll. Can you do a rapid poll? Okay. I know. I'm going to do a text poll. Week. Let's do. All right, you guys. Tell me if you can see this poll in the community tab on my YouTube channel. Why is it not letting me delete this, actually? What? Bruh. Bruh. All right, this is really stupid, and it's not letting me delete it. Bro. Oh, no. No, why? All right, tell me if you could see this. Tell me if you guys could see this poll. I just made a poll. Hopefully it'll show up in the community. Why do I still have these clowns on my screen? I don't know why I still have those clowns on my screen. Okay, hold on. Maybe I can... Tell me if you guys can see... this. You can put a link in a whole result on your screen. Okay, well, that should have worked. Should have worked. Also, I guess I'm just going to do like when you guys are the most online. When I do the lives, because this is my goal to do a live twice a week on a consistent schedule. That was like one of my New Year's resolutions was to do live twice a week on a consistent schedule. And one of the things that I was like, okay, I'm going to do is not to know exactly what time I should do it, but I guess I can figure out what the best time is, like just by looking at like the analytics to see like when you guys are most online. No, it's in the community tab. Oh, Waggy. Why? My dog is so perfect. My dogs are so perfect. I love you, man. O'Day. Thank you for becoming a member again. Where have you been? Long time no see. How are you? Don't be fooled by O'Day just becoming a member now, folks. O'Day's been here from the beginning. O'Day has been here from the beginning. Yes, I'm so happy to see that you're back, O'Day. How have you been? I'm glad. I was literally just about to end this live too. I'm glad you came in before I did. Bye, Ragnar. Thanks for joining. Thoughts on Ian Carroll? I don't trust anybody who won't criticize certain people. I just don't. I just, I know a lot of people like him. He's really blown up on Twitter and stuff. And I actually have seen videos of his before that I liked. Like I had seen videos of his on TikTok like a year ago that I liked. But I don't trust anybody who makes their whole thing about uncovering the truth in conspiracies and won't criticize certain people. That's very sus to me. Like, very sus. Like, anybody that their whole thing is right, but that's why I don't trust him. Because, like, to me, if your whole thing is I uncover the truth and I uncover what's really going on and I'm uncovering this like conspiracy and you've got to look at the deeper meaning of the powers that be and this and that and Epstein and blah, 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 but you don't have anything to say about Trump or Elon Musk, red flag, red flag. Very red flag. Like, to me, you can always tell how honest somebody really is by who they won't criticize. And I say that because I know that there are a lot of other people on the left that liked him too. Like, a lot of other people on the left. I think he codes as left. So even though he's a right winger, he kind of codes as left. Like, he looks like he'd be on the left, if that makes sense. And so I think a lot of people on the left like him because I remember I made a video about him, addressing him because people were asking me about him. And there were a lot of people in my community on TikTok that pushed back on my video and was like, what do you mean? He's a leftist. Like, we really like him. He's a leftist, blah, blah, blah. Like, he calls out big pharma and like big corporations and this and that. So like he super codes his left. So I feel like a lot of people on the left fall for it. But when I was trying to explain to my community of people on the left on TikTok why I didn't trust him, to me, it boiled down to this. Look at who he won't criticize. Just look at who he refuses to say anything about. That should tell you everything you need to know. I'm busting my ass working 70 hours a week. I have to pay $8,000. That's so messed up. That's so messed up. I'm so sorry, O'Day, about that. For those of you who don't know, O'Day got unfairly arrested by the Israeli regime. O'Day's Palestinian. He lives in the occupied West Bank. And he got unfairly arrested. And then the IOF, after torturing him and beating him, and they finally let him out. And now they're giving him a bogus fine of all this money that he has to pay for nothing, for doing nothing. Like, it's insane. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I feel like people are starting to wake up, but I don't think enough people understand like how actually still like bad it is over there, and not just in Gaza, in the occupied West Bank too. The way that they terrorize people in the occupied West Bank, the way they steal from them, the way like it's actually insane, and I don't feel like enough people understand that. We the people want healthcare, livable wages, and free Palestine. Correct. Like, no one wants this. Nobody wants any more money to go to the genocidal Israeli regime. But of course, that's exactly what Biden is doing on his way out the door. I feel like the Yeah, they always do. And then they give you a little bit of crumbs. They give you a little bit of crumbs so that you don't notice. I cursed in Arabic. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I want to vomit every time somebody talks about like Biden's legacy. It's like your legacy is genocide. That's your legacy, you piece of shit. It's a beautiful language for cursing. That's so funny. We love you, O'Day. Let us know if there's any other way that we can support you. Do you have like anything that you can share? Like, I don't know. I don't want to assume because, you know, I'm a broke bitch and I know a lot of people here broke bitches. However, it's not like, you know, we all aren't in the business of, you know, loving each other, helping everybody out. So if you have anything that you want to share, like a GoFundMe or anything like that, like I'm sure other people would at the very least want to share it. And obviously, I hope that you're able to continue to get the work that you need to get to do this. It's such a scam. And there's no justice for Palestinians in Gaza or in the occupied West Bank. So he can't go like appeal it, you know? Like he can't be like, I'm appealing this. This is bullshit. No, because this is an apartheid regime. So the Palestinians are not allowed to go to court and get justice. O'Day is also oh my gosh. O'Day is also very funny and very brave. Very brave. Like the meme if he dies. I feel like O'Day, you represent the spirit of so many Palestinians of like, you're just brave in a way that I feel like most of us in the West are not. Like I would be like when you first came out of prison and you were like basically strong and defiant in the face of all that oppression. I'm like, I don't know. I feel like we in the West do not understand the kind of resilience that people like O'Day and the Palestinians have because we've never had to endure that kind of oppression. It's crazy. Every day I hate Israel more and more. Same. Like, say every time I think I can't hate it more. All right, you guys. I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody who joined the live. Everybody pray for O'Day. O'Day, if you have anything that you want to share, if you have like a GoFundMe or anything, just put it in chat and or put it like, you know, in one of the comments of the live and I'll add it to the video description. I'll add it to I'll definitely add it to the video description if you want. And yeah, everybody, thank you so much for joining the live. Pray for O'Day. Obviously, pray for Palestine. Continue to fight. Excuse me. Continue to fight. Yeah, we're gonna make it. How are we gonna make it through this year? One day at a time. How are we gonna make it through this year? One day at a time. If you're not already subbed to the channel, make sure to sub to the channel. Subbing is free. Subbing is free. Becoming a member definitely helps the channel. It actually helps the channel in the algorithm to become a member. But even if you can't become a member, you can still, even if you can't become a member, you can still sub to the channel. I just have to read this from O'Day. This is so sweet. Said, I appreciate that, but I need you to focus on Gaza. They need more help. Ugh. Bro, I just love the Palestinian people so much. I really do. Like, you guys are the most kind-hearted people, like, ever. And I say that because you're in a horrible situation. And you have every right to be enraged about it. And your thought goes to how the Palestinians in Gaza. Like, you're just a beautiful person. You guys are beautiful people. Thank you so much, Saeed, for gifting 50 memberships. Thank you so much. Guys, Saeed just generously gifted 50 memberships, which means that you can just become a member through one of the memberships that he gifted. And thank you so much to everybody who is a member, because memberships help the channel. They help the channel in the algorithm. They help the channel grow. Thank you so much for gifting those memberships. So now all of you guys can become a member. Thank you to Saeed, who incredibly generous, 50 memberships, incredibly generous. Thank you everybody who is a member, who has become a member. Like I said, it helps the channel a lot. Thank you to everyone during this stream who gave a super chat. Thank you so much, everybody who gave a super chat this stream. Thank you, everybody who supports me on Ko-Fi, on Patreon, on any of those platforms. Like and share the stream. Pray for O'Day. Also, if anybody does, now that O'Day mentioned to Gaza, if anybody wants to help any of the Palestinian families, I have personally can vouch for multiple Palestinian families that I've been fundraising for and working with for months. So if you go to my link tree in any of my bios, I have a bunch of GoFundMes in my link tree for direct aid that goes to Palestinian families in Gaza right now. So you can check that out as well if you want to support any of the Palestinians in Gaza that you know that their GoFundMes have been verified. And then there's also the Solomon Animal Rescue, where they raise money to save animals in Gaza. And there's also Operation Olive Branch, which I know there's been some issues with people feeling about that, but you can also support them too. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Once again, thank you, Saeed, for gifting all those memberships. You can become a member by clicking on those. Thank you so much to everybody who supports my work and supports this chat. Thank you so much to everybody who, supports the work that I do and supported me in chat and everything that we're doing here and building here. And it's going to be a lot. We're going to be doing a lot this year. We're going to be going live a lot this year, talking a lot this year. Okay. So make sure to join the Discord too. Because again, this isn't just about me. This is also about us being there for each other. So I want you guys to spend time with each other, get to know each other. So join the Discord for that as well. I love you all. Correct, Venom. Yes. And I love you all. Free Palestine. Love to O'Day. Love and sending good vibes and prayers to O'Day and to all people in Gaza who understand love and freedom a lot more than most of us do. All right, you guys. I will see you either Monday or Tuesday, depending on what you guys pick for the poll. Whatever you guys end up picking in this poll that I have on screen, that's when I'll be live next, okay? I love you all. I love you all. And if you want to catch me before then, you can follow me on my other socials. Bye, everybody. Free Palestine.